As you can see, I have my coffee ready and I have a new ChatGPT story for you. Since I made the first story, the tools have already improved, so I think this one turned out even better. We have an improved Midjourney script, we have improved voiceover, and we now have 69 format from the images from Midjourney. So now let me just show you how you can do this too. So the first thing I did was to use the story prompt I have created specifically to write stories in ChatGPT. So I just copied this, went over to ChatGPT. So as you can see here, I just ran the prompt in ChatGPT. I made some adjustment here in the settings field. So Eve Thompson drifts into space alone after an accident. And we have the protagonist that's gonna be Eve Thompson. So we just ran this template. We got our template response back, so that looked good. Then I just built some story outlines from the factors above. So you can see the outlines here. Then it was just I did some iterations. Then I got a new outline. Then I just now create story chapters from the outlines above. Okay, so we got the chapters. And then it was just write the story in great detail in an intriguing writing style, max 750 words. And here it was, that was our story. Then it was just copy the whole story, head over to my script and paste the story in here into a text file. Go to our prompt and adjust how many scenes we wanted. So I think I wanted 30 visual scenes from the story. Okay, then it was just go to the terminal and run the script. Okay, so that was the script done. Now let's take a look at a few examples from the script. So here you can see we have scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Eve is exhausted both physically and mentally, and she begins to reflect on her life. We have full body image, astronaut, space helmet, spacesuit, right? And we have AR69, so that's good. Next now is head over to Midjourney and create some images. So over at Midjourney, just go /imagine, paste our prompt here. As you can see here we are using our unique name we have created for Eve Thompson, as we did in the previous ChatGPT story video. So now let's just run this. Okay, so here you can see we have some different images of Eve we can now use in our story. So now I just went ahead, collected every image I needed for a story. Then I just went over to 11 Labs to create the voiceover we need for our story. So I just pasted in chapter 1 here, selected my voice, just hit generate. And here we can get a very good voiceover. So it's much improved for the one I made for the last video. And I'm gonna leave a link in the description below for this voiceover. And now it was just the last step, and that was editing. So over at Premiere Pro, the only thing we needed to do now was put everything together. So we added all the images, the voiceover, and we added some music and some subtitles. And that was pretty much it. So now our story is ready to be exported, and that should be it. So before we watch the final result, I just wanted to let you know, if you want to access the script I used in this video, check out the link in the description below to my membership. I think I have over 30 member-only videos now. Also check out the link to my newsletter if you want to keep up to date in the generative AI space. But now let's take a look at the ChatGPT story.
Chapter 1. The Accident. Eve Thompson was floating in the darkness of space, her heart pounding as she tried to grasp what had just happened. It all started as just another day in the life of an astronaut, orbiting Saturn on a solo mission, when a sudden and catastrophic failure of her spacecraft sent her adrift in the void. Eve had always been drawn to the stars. From a young age, she had been fascinated by the infinite possibilities of the universe, the thrill of discovery, and the adventure of space travel. And now, she was living her dream as one of the few human beings to venture beyond the limits of our own solar system. But as she gazed at the endless void, she felt a pang of regret for having left behind the only home she had ever known. The comfort of her childhood, the warmth of her friends and family, the familiar embrace of the earth. She wondered if she would ever see them again. Chapter 2. Struggling to survive. Eve's spacecraft was in shambles, and she was struggling to survive. The limited resources she had were quickly running out, and she was running out of time. She could not afford to waste a single moment, not when her life was on the line. She set to work, examining the damage to her ship and trying to figure out how to fix it. Her training and experience as an astronaut came to the fore, and she approached the challenge with a clear mind, determined to find a way back to Earth. But as the days passed, her prospects grew dimmer. The repairs she made were only temporary fixes, and her resources were rapidly depleting. She began to realize that she might not make it back after all. "Is this it?" she thought. "Is this how it all ends? Stranded in the void, alone and forgotten." She felt a wave of fear wash over her, but she pushed it aside and focused on her survival. She could not afford to lose hope, not when she had come so far. Chapter 3. Embracing the unavoidable. Eve's struggles took their toll, and she was exhausted, both physically and mentally. As she floated in the darkness, she began to reflect on her life, her choices, and her dreams. She thought about the friends and family she had left behind, the risks she had taken, and the sacrifices she had made. She thought about the things she had accomplished and the things she had left undone, and she thought about the inevitability of death. "Why did I do this?" she muttered. "Why did I leave everything behind?" She realized that she would never make it back to Earth, and she would never see her loved ones again. The weight of this realization was almost too much to bear, but she refused to give in to despair. Instead, she embraced her fate. She accepted that her life was ending in the void of space, and she began to see the beauty and majesty of the universe in a new light. "Maybe this is where I was meant to be," she thought. "Maybe this is my destiny." Chapter 4. The Final Frontier. Eve's life came to an end in the vastness of space. She died with a sense of peace and understanding, having come to terms with her fate. She was no longer an astronaut, a daughter, or a friend. She was simply a part of the universe, a tiny speck in the vast and infinite void. But her legacy lived on. The story of the lost astronaut who ventured into the unknown and embraced the inevitable inspired generations to come. She became a symbol of bravery, determination, and acceptance, and her name was remembered with reverence and awe. In the end, Eve Thompson's journey into the stars was not just about her, but about all of humanity's quest for knowledge and understanding. She was a trailblazer, a pioneer, and a hero, and her story would endure for all time. Epilogue. The universe remembers. Years passed, and the universe continued to spin and expand, but the story of Eve Thompson remained. Her spacecraft drifted through the void, a silent testament to her bravery and determination. And though she was long gone, her spirit lived on, in the stars and in the hearts of those who remembered her. The universe had claimed her as one of its own, and she would forever be a part of the great and infinite tapestry of the cosmos. The end.